Let's move now to your daily life and the cost of inflation to you. Food inflation recorded at 6.2%, that's the official figure anyway, having a knock-on effect on your pocket. Basic foods costing more than what they cost you this time last year. President Cyril Ramaphosa says the Consumer Price Index for April 2022, published by Stats SA, shown there's been little respite. Well, no respite, really, for you. Newzroom Afrika's Athi in Mtongana joins us live from Atlantis in the Western Cape to talk to people there about how they're coping with high fuel and food prices. Athi, good afternoon to you. Doesn't matter where you are in the country or who you are, you're really having a tough time at the moment.
Yes, Stephen, that's correct. That president himself conceded to that when he released his letter today, saying that, of course, those who are mostly affected are those low-income households. But, of course, every South African is impacted by the rising costs of food as well as fuel. But I want to bring in some of the small business owners here in Atlantis. It's just a few minutes away from Cape Town. Well, it's actually close to 30 minutes away from Cape Town. So people here who run small businesses, in order to get some of the essentials that they need to run their businesses, that have to drive to Cape Town. So remember, with the high cost to fuel, it means coughing up more money for transportation, particularly public transport. Now, let's bring in a small business owner here who's going to talk to me about the impact of the high costs of food on her business. Mama, your business right there at the back of you, Uthi, but you've noticed that it's been difficult for you as a small business owner up at Atlantis.
Ingxaki endihlangabezana nayo phaa kulaa business yam incinci. Okokuqala ipetroli. Njengoba inyuka isehla kufuneka nje mandihlala emaphandleni ndibe nayo i-900 yokuthatha imoto ndiyokustoka, because andinawukwazi ukuhamba nge-public transport ndithi ndiyokustoka, kodwa funeka ndenze so i-900 ndinayo. Ewe ibhizinesi yam incinci, funeka ndenze so ndiyayizama le 900 because sihlala emaphandleni. I-fish oil inyuke ngamandla, like ndisebenzisa into ezidibanise neflower, so yonke iflower inyukile, imigubo yee-muffins, ise-braising flour, yonke into eneflower phakathi inyukile, yonke igrosari nje inyukile. So siyasokola kakhulu, but ke siyazama, siyaphusa, kodwa kunzima kakhulu.
Abantu basaza ke ngokuzothenga apha kuwe njengoba nabo be-affected yimali le ingekhoyo.
Sometimes kuyathengwa, sometimes kungathengwa, but ke ndiya-understanda because imali ayikho, because yonke into inyukile ngoku. Akuhambi kakuhle at all, but ke siyanyamezela because funeka sibeke isonke etafuleni ekugqibeleni.
Mtongana, thank you so much for your time. This is a small business owner out here, Stephen, in Atlantis. She's talking about how her business has obviously felt the impact of the rising costs of food as well as fuel. Just to loosely translate what she was saying, and just to summarize it, she's saying basically that the cost of fuel has had an impact on her when she has to travel outside of Atlantis to go into Cape Town to buy some of the food that she needs in order to prepare the meals that she prepares for the community. She's actually selling some scones there. I was able to actually see. I'm going to ask my colleague to pan and show you the business that is owned by Mtongana, who I just spoke to. She says that even just buying flour as part of her ingredients to make baked scones is quite expensive. That has gone up, as well as the cost of oil. You might know, Stephen, that the conflict that's currently playing out in Russia and Ukraine has had a knock-on effect on the cost of oil just globally. And so she's feeling it as a business owner, but they're continuing despite the rising cost of food as well as fuel. So she has to travel using public transport to go get some of the ingredients that she needs to prepare some of the food that she makes and sells. However, one thing that's interesting, she says they haven't, at least at this stage, increased the prices of the products that she sells, because she also understands, as a business owner living in Atlantis, that the people also in this community cannot really afford the hike in the products, in the price in the price of the products that she would sell to the community. There's also a lady here who makes fat cakes. Actually, we went inside and saw as she's preparing the fat cakes, and she's using a lot of oil, and that we know at this stage is quite pricey. And so they are really feeling the impact. Many of them saying that the profit that they would make is not the same profit that they are currently making now as things stand, with the cost of fuel as well as food.
Athi Mtongana, thank you very much indeed. I do appreciate it. I'm sure I'm not the only person in the country who for some reason finds the name Fat Cook much more appetizing than Fat Cake. Of course, they taste the same no matter what you call them. They have the same impact too. Well.